Hello. Hello, everyone. First of all, we're starting right away with a cat in the lap. Cat in a lap. Welcome. My name is EmilyHanhan. This is Toni, aka the
Hello,
Regular Girl
hello,
Reviews.
hello.
Welcome to Grinchmas. I really wanted Sundays or the weekends to at least have one just like very chill live stream because editing is hard. Um, and
Yeah,
Tony, I adore you from
and
from
I
just the
you,
jump
my
off.
love, and I
So
you.
thank you. So I figured why not start it off with somebody that I love talking with. If you
Cool.
don't know who Tony is, Tony's on Twitter and Instagram and has a podcast. And I should have everything linked in the description box. And if anything is missing, I will add it afterwards. But definitely go check out Tony.
I'm
Welcome
out
to
here.
everyone here. Yes, doing amazing, gorgeous, beautiful looks on the Instagram.
Bye, bye,
And
bye. Well, I figured since I was coming to the Color Castle, I had to make sure that today I made put some color on. Sorry, y'all. I'm fixing my ring light because it is janky and it's falling. Excuse my mess.
I had a broken ring light for ever and wasn't using it, and I finally got the one replacement piece that I needed, and like it's better now, but even now actually I don't use it as much because I'm just like too many lights. But
Mine is one of those ones with like the little short ones with the adjustable little things. So if one little leg isn't exactly lined up correctly, it's like this and it's a waste. So that's what happened. And it almost fell. So I'm like, oh shit, this is perfect. This is just what I need. I'm the first one to do the live in Grinchmas.
you're all good. You
And
are
I
all good.
and we have a lighting catastrophe in the first 5 minutes. Great, 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 great.
So
Thank you,
welcome.
Sharon. I'm glad you like my
I know. I
podcast.
love the podcast. I
Thank
know
you
that
so
we were
much.
talking pre-stream about a little bit of a just having to take a break because 2020, but there are back episodes y'all should go listen
I hope you guys
to
do.
them.
And I totally, in theory, like, I, no, let me say this. I love my podcast. Like, it's my very first
Podcast is amazing.
solo. Thank you. It's my very first solo, just me. Like, I don't have a co host. I don't have anybody else that does my show but me unless I have a guest.
Yeah.
So like it was a huge leap of faith for me to do it and I loved doing it. But like the past like month and a half, I just have not had it in me to do it. And I don't ever want to put some half-ass shit out there just that y'all are going to know because the people who listen to my podcast are listening for me so they know okay what's going on Tony and I can see the tweets now and I don't have time so rather than put
Here's
all of us in a funky ass situation I've just been
yeah,
kind of chilling and just kind of working on this is going to sound so cheesy and cliche but like working on myself and getting my head back into reality and out of the fog that was the election and all the other bullshit that's been 2020.
I don't think it's cheesy at all. I
Well,
think
thanks.
that like I know that I had a really hard time doing a lot of videos or I felt like any videos like
Mm,
October, November. Like I was doing
yeah,
them, but
it's
it
not it wasn't the
wasn't
same.
no, and it wasn't any like level of consistency about it. And
Mhm.
it was just like if I feel inspired and I can get my shit together to do it, I will do it. But if I can't, I'm not going to.
That's
And
literally been
yeah,
me, and lately, not having the energy to do it has won out. But, like, I'm still real active on, like, my socials and stuff like that so that, the people who do
yes.
listen to my podcast who also follow me on socials, we all are still kind of, talking and stuff, so it's like I didn't fall off the planet. I just haven't made any content. I didn't even post any makeup pictures last week. Like, a bitch has been going through it. Okay.
That
Like,
is totally fair.
ugh.
Okay, first of all, just having your energy in my social media space is like top notch. Like, just I love the podcast, but I just love being able to interact with you or whatever, however much you feel like you can give, because
Thank you.
it's very cliche, but like you can't give from an empty cup. If you're not feeling it,
Exactly.
if you're not available, you can't. But
Right.
I just really appreciate having you there, even just the random things, not even random, but the things you'll retweet or talk about on Twitter. Like, people talk a lot about how Twitter is so toxic, and there are
Right.
plenty of toxic people on there,
For
but
sure.
there are also like people that when I open up my Twitter, I'm just like, oh, that was
Yes.
nice. Like, and you are
Yes.
one of those accounts, you're one of those people
Girl,
for me.
stop.
I also just wanted to welcome everyone in the chat because we have a lot of my faves, my regulars. We have a Faye, we have an Emily Original, and a Sharon, and a Lydia, and a
Happy
uh,
birthday.
Be Kind, and a Lori, and a Mindy. And if I missed your name, I see you. I appreciate everybody that's here hanging out with us on Sunday. So,
Well,
like,
thank you, Faith. Like, I recognize some of your names. Hey,
yes,
y'all. How y'all
Faye is.
been or whatever?
But yeah, that's a really big like thing with 2020. And I was saying before we went live, like, yes, deciding to do Grinchmas, Vlogmas, whatever in 2020,
Yeah,
deciding
that's
to
why, like,
end the year.
everybody who is doing it and has stuck to it so far and, like, did all the pre-filming it takes to do this, set up all of the collabs, like, doing a whole month of content takes a lot of work. So, it's never been lost on me the effort that creators put into it, and now, once again, in this creator space,
Yeah,
I know what it takes to do one video, much less 30 in essence. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like, that for me, I would be on the super struggle bus. Like, there's the struggle bus and then there's the struggle bus that repairs the struggle bus. I'd be on that bus trying
I mean, I
trying to
literally
do it. I could not.
filmed 4 videos last night slash this morning because my sleep schedule has been forever just like inverted,
Mhm.
because I am like, pre-film, what is that? Like, I really didn't. So I'm just like,
Right.
big batch of filming, and then like, because all week long I'm like, maybe I'll film a video here or there, and then I'm just like, oh, it didn't happen. Oh, it's Saturday night, big batch of filming.
Right. I don't understand, like, you guys have a you guys have a strength that I long to have. Like,
Well,
the
yeah,
dedication to that content, knowing what I know of you as a person, much less as a creator. You know what I'm saying? And knowing what I know of being a creator, period, and the pressure that goes into it just when it's not the theoretical highest viewed month on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So everybody who can do that shit and knock that shit out, props.
Well, and this is
Because I know
something.
me and I could not.
This is something. First of all, Thorn and Lydia both lost their power. They
Oh my
are
gosh.
roommates, and I'm just like, no,
Oh,
what is going on? No, no, yeah, not to.
I was about to say, oh my
Is it
gosh, what?
winter storms? Because I know they're in the
Right.
Midwest,
I
but
was about to say, is it rolling power outages? I know that's been going on in
that's also
places.
happened. Yeah. The like electricity and internet, everything has been so weird during 2020, if I have to say.
Yeah.
But like, the thing that I've noticed with you from the beginning
Mhm.
is that you understand. I feel like you have a level of compassion and understanding for creators that
Yeah.
not everybody has,
I
without
do for sure.
even, not that I like, I didn't know you had been like, you had done other podcasts or things like that, but I felt like from the moment that I found you, I was like, oh, she understands it, and like you
Yeah.
said, the compassion.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
and
I totally get it. I've been a creator in some way, shape, or form, be it publicly or privately, literally my entire life. Literally ever since I was a little girl. My mother would tell people all the time, oh, Toni, she always has a pencil and a piece of paper on her so she can
yes,
write something down. You know what I mean? So, and as I've grown, the way I've chosen to express that
mhm,
creativity or whatever has changed. You know, like now, I mean, I was a blogger for a while, like actual writing blogs, doing interviews, doing, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? video interviews, interviews for magazines of people, like doing all of these things. And it was fun and I loved it. I loved it. But then as I got older, writing, I just lost my passion for it. So I'm like, well, what can I do now to like express myself in a way that I'm comfortable with,
Yeah.
that's going to set me apart? And people would always tell me, "Oh, Toni, you have a really nice voice. I could listen to you talk all day." I'd be like, "Shut the fuck up. Y'all are just trying to hype me up, whatever." And then I got into podcasting and into terrestrial radio and internet
Yeah.
radio, because that's what podcasting was called before it was called
Yeah.
podcasting. It was
Internet
called
radio.
internet
Yeah.
radio, for those who
Yep.
may not be familiar with it. So, like, and I used to do a show every Monday through Friday for 4 hours,
Wow.
and I've done weekly shows. I've done shows with a big cast. I've done shows with a small one. So I've always, been in it. So I
Okay.
know what creators go through. And I've had friends of mine who are, rappers and actors and directors and, oh gosh, NPR. I mean, hey, hello. I am
Th-
open to a sponsorship.
Exactly. I'm like,
Audible, call me, because I listen to a lot of Audible books, and some of
you
these
reading
people you have
audiobooks
reading them,
would be amazing. Would be so
I
good.
should I should do just random podcast episodes of me just reading random wild shit and providing commentary. I may
Basically,
do
like
that.
podcast ASMR in a way, where you just
I
like
may
read
just do that
something and
and then
and
talk
like
about it.
yeah,
Oh shit,
exactly.
look at me inspired. Ah!
Okay, what's
Y'all
so
may get some content
interesting
soon. How about that?
because it's low pressure. Like it's low pressure
Exactly. And that
completely.
for me has always been what turned me off from doing things. Once it starts to feel like a job, once I
Mhm.
start to feel like I don't have any flexibility, that's when I start to get distant from it and I lose my
Yeah.
interest in it. Because like the Regular Girl Reviews started as a blog, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And it started as like 6 posts, like 3 posts a day, 5 days a week. And I was like, okay,
Wow.
wait, I'm tired.
You go into things hard,
And
like
see,
because I
that's
was
my
like I
problem
started as a
sometimes.
blog too. Like I had a
Yeah.
food like this all started as a food blog back in
I was a
mm,
total like three posts a day, 5 days a week. And then I was like, okay, Toni, you have like a whole real job that you have to do. So like balance. So then it was like 1 post a day for 5 days a week,
yeah,
sometimes 2 posts a day. And then it just got to be where writing these posts, I was miserable. And I'm like, it's going to come across and I don't want to do that. Let me just fucking chill. And then
yeah,
and then life happened and so many other things came into play and I lost my desire to do it, but I still want to talk about makeup. I still want to fucking have a ball.
exactly. Yeah.
Hence the podcast, where it's called the Regular Girl Reviews podcast, and I have not reviewed, I don't think, one fucking makeup product.
Whatever. People are
But
literally here for
whatever. It's
you. Like,
branding. Hello.
yeah, yes.
Hello.
And
Oh,
that's
thank
something
you.
actually I've been struggling with. So one, I had a really interesting thought how like how many people in my life are creatives
Right.
and it's almost like in disguise, like until we start talking, and then I'm like, oh damn, you wrote you this because
Right.
like like I feel like I started out like doing like artsy things, and then I had like a writing moment, and then I had a food blog moment, and then I was doing food stuff, so I was taking photos of that, and then I was like always dabbling in makeup, but then I was playing with that more, and then I discovered YouTube, and then I was like, I guess I could try video editing. Like this seems overwhelming, but I like just like what like it's not that I'm like leaving things behind, but I'm just trying new things.
Right.
And I didn't and like it's just interesting to talk to other people and realize like, oh yeah, other people do that too, where they're like, yeah, I wrote for a while or I did this or I do that.
Right. It's so crazy to see how across genres or duration of time, just
Debbie,
about everybody, just about everybody that is a creative has gone through waves of how they express it.
yeah,
There are some people who wake up, fresh out of the womb and know I'm going to be an actress and grow up to be that. And hey, more power to you, girl. But
yeah.
listen, I'm here for the fluidity. You know what I'm
Also,
saying?
it's
Like,
kind of following the like the changes because I've gotten really bad at actually reading books. So like
Yeah,
the idea of writing when I know that that's also not the way people are interacting in a way with
exactly.
stuff. Like once I saw as somebody that was like doing food blog stuff and kind of active in that both as like a hobby and then not really the food blogging didn't become a job, but I started working in the food industry, but I
Mm,
saw the transformation of how people were consuming that content and I
right.
was like, "Well, I don't wanna do a food blog if nobody's reading it. I don't wanna do
Exactly.
written word if nobody is reading it because I know
Especially
that,
when
like,
I know I'm not even really, like, motivated to
I'm
be
not
reading a bunch of things,
exactly. So,
you
like,
know? I
while
totally get it.
people yeah, people will complain about, like, the fickleness of things, and I'm like, "Yeah, but it's also just trends. It's how it
Right.
happens."
And
And
as the world changes, how
yeah,
we entertain ourselves changes as well. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Like that exactly with you, how you just got to the point to where you just could not deal with actual physical reading was the same
Mhm.
for me because I was hardcore against Kindle, Audible, all that shit. I was like, no, bitch, books are legit. And now when I don't have any new Audibles to listen to, I am sad. Like I love Audible so much now, and
Yeah,
it's actually getting me to read more.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I still have Kindle but I don't want to even read it on the Kindle at this point. I
yeah.
just want to listen to it.
I know, so that was the thing is, like, I remember years ago when I would commute because I've lived in Brooklyn for over a decade now, and
Mhm.
I would commute into the city for a job. I would have, like, an actual book. I would
Same,
and then
same.
I discovered podcast.
When my commute was longer,
Yeah,
I would always have a book or a magazine or something in my bag when I used to have to take the train. As my
yeah.
commute shortened, my need for that got less and lesser. Now I work from
Well,
home every
yeah.
day,
Now
but
commute, what is that? But, like,
I'm commuting from the bed across my bedroom to my desk,
I'm, like,
literally.
moving my laptop from one table to another so I can
Exactly.
film
And
over here.
and
Like,
I may not even have pants on. It depends,
no,
like
no.
but I
Oh,
kind
and
of miss getting on the train. I still
I
buy books. I'll
yeah,
still
I
buy a book
still
here
love
and there.
books. But I just don't actually interact with them that
Right.
much.
Like, there's this
Yeah,
book I listened to on based on a recommendation of this podcast, and I bought the audiobook, I listened to the audiobook, and then I went and bought an actual copy of
yeah.
the book because, they talked about what the book actually looked like, and I was like, "Okay, so the cover sounds
Oh,
cool." The cover sounds cool, and I looked it up on Amazon. I know you guys, I know we're not supposed to be really patronizing Amazon, but hey, man,
we all
listen,
do what we can.
I'm
Like,
doing
no
what I
judgment.
can. I'm doing what I can.
Yeah.
But, and I bought it, and I love it. It sits on my makeup bookshelf thing that has all
Yes.
of my little knickknacks and random things. It's up there because books are and were such a huge part of my life, my whole life, and a part of who I am.
Yeah.
So my
It's
whole
kind of
little
like
shelf is like that.
I love it. It's like books and
I'm home.
magazines, I don't actually want them to go away. Like, I
Me
don't want them to
neither.
go away, but I realize that we have more options now, so, like,
Mhm.
we're not necessarily only doing that, but, like, I
Exactly.
remember when I discovered podcasts, and I really love true crime, so
Me
I was
too.
listening to podcasts, and I would literally try to read and listen to a podcast because 'cause I'm used to, like,
Me
I'd have
too.
music, and then
Yes,
I'd have a book, and
yes.
then I realized, like, "Oh, no, my brain is not
What
built to do that," like
did I read this book? Because then when I go to it when I'm not listening to something,
yeah,
I'm like, "What the fuck just happened?" And I end up having to flip back half a chapter because I was reading it, but I didn't retain any of it because I'm listening to music, and the music is like, "Okay." And I'm thinking about how much I don't wanna go into this job.
exactly, and then I realized, like, "Wait, I don't have to carry books with me because I have my podcast," and,
Yes.
so then that's, like, what changed it. So
Mhm.
now when people lament, like, "Oh, nobody reads," I'm like, that started a long time ago,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you that, but that's
People
been
just
happening
are absorbing data in a different way now. Like,
yeah,
back when we were coming up, like we didn't have any option. It was books or
Yeah.
nothing, or TV. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
or
Like,
like a Walkman, like,
or
to
a
have
Walkman.
music with, like, a headset and you have,
It
like,
was a
a
whole
CD you have to carry, like, everything you have to carry with you.
And it was a
Also
lot. You'd always
yeah,
have to have a backpack or a really big purse because you needed to be able to fit in the Discman, the book that had your 10 favorite CDs. You had to
yes.
have something to read, a magazine, something, plus your beverage. Like the bag,
You
that's why,
literally
like,
just, like, were carrying your life in a bag because that's how things were.
because
It's
you didn't
actually
have a choice because
yeah,
everything wasn't in one
it's
fucking place.
mind-blowing that everything is in this one thing. I'm
I
just like,
love it so much. I love it
it's
so much,
it's
but
such an improvement.
I'm appreciative of the experiences prior, and I think
Yeah,
that's what makes me appreciate it more. Like, if
yeah.
I like, my son is 18, so he doesn't know anything about not having a cell phone. He doesn't know anything about the days before Wi-Fi. Dial-up? What are you talking about?
Brr, 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 like the weird noises. Okay, I am also really glad that I am the age I am and that I grew up in this transitionary period where like I had one of those brick Nokia phones, like that was my first,
Me
like the
too.
snake on it, where you had to press 111 to like to write cat. It's like you have to press nine times. I
T9
also
was a bitch, man.
yes. Also, no spoons ever. Take advantage of delivery. I'm with you on that. Like, spoons, energy, what is that? Order your breakfast in, like,
Order
order your
everything.
coffee in, like,
It's 2020, man.
yeah,
Convenience is a luxury we all deserve right
I
now
know. I'm
because
just like,
2020 has been an ice cream cone in the dirt.
2020 has been the biggest fuck you. And I'm just like,
The biggest.
the
25 was
biggest. But
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
Star 69, Emily, listen. Star 69, when I was coming up in high school, me and my homegirl, oh, the way Star 69 and three-way calling, and then Star 67 to block your number.
Oh yes, star 6 7. All the different I kept learning different codes and I'm like and then I would be like, but are these legit? Like, do they actually
Star 67 still works. Don't ask me how I know. Just know that I know. It's still functional.
thank you. I'm gonna remember that because sometimes I'm gonna say sometimes the social anxiety is like, I don't actually want to talk to this person. Can I
Me
just leave a
either.
voicemail?
And
And
I
if
don't
the
want
number
them to call me back. I just want to make this phone call, but we don't have
yeah,
to ever talk after this.
exactly.
I
Okay, that's
miss I miss being able to hang up on people. Like, to actually
like
bang the phone on people. Oh my gosh.
there are okay, this makes me think of the thing that's on, like, one of my wish lists, like, I have, like, a bigger wish list of, like, as a creator, like, things that would be nice, and one of the things is, like so I have a laptop, I like it, but
Right.
I'm like, I'd like a second monitor or, like, a separate monitor to have 2 monitors because I think that would be
Right.
nice.
Right.
I also would like a mechanical keyboard, like a keyboard that does the, like, clicky sounds, because there's
Mm.
something about that, like, there's electric, mechanical keyboards you can plug into your computer,
Right.
um, and the clicky, like, that satisfaction I miss, and it's
Now
kinda
my
makes me think of that with, like, the phone, like,
Yes, because my work
situation.
laptop, because I have one for work and then one, my real, actual, real life one that I, ironically enough, rarely ever use, but whatever. My work laptop has one of those wireless keyboards.
Mhm.
So, and it does.
Nice.
So
Like,
then
I
when I
miss
come to
that.
my personal laptop, and
Yeah.
it doesn't do that, I'm like, this isn't as fun.
There's just something so nice about, like, certain
Something
tactical
about it,
feelings.
it's something
Yeah,
satisfying about it. Exactly how it used to be for me when I used to hang up the phone on people, because it's like you're getting that frustration out, and they can hear it, and there's nothing they can do about it. But
yeah,
now if I hang up on you, I can just play it off like it was an accident, and it's not the same. Or you can assume it was an accident, and it's
yeah.
not the same. No, you didn't lose signal. I hung up on you. It's not the
There
same
should be
now.
a way to, like, send a middle finger when you wanna, like, hang up,
Has to.
like,
There needs to be a sound.
Yeah.
Notifications make all these wild sounds on our phones. Why is there not one for when I hang up the phone on somebody that sounds like I'm banging on them in their ear?
So I wish okay,
I
here's an
need that.
idea
They
of
totally
phone
should, Lori. I need that app.
manufacturers. An app or the phone should have a button that's like hang the fuck up or hang up.
Right.
So that when you press hang the fuck up, they both end the call, but
But one's
one
more
is like,
aggressive.
I am done with this shit. And the other one is we're done. Okay.
They have to do something. All these advances in technology, and I still can't bang on somebody when I hang up the phone. Like, come on.
Also,
I
yeah,
don't
like
ask for much.
the not necessarily with rotary phones, but like again, the tacticalness of like clicking the buttons to dial a number or like you
Mm.
hang up the phone and then you're like, fuck, I'm gonna call my other friend and you're just like,
I miss that energy. It's not the same. First of all, I don't know anybody's phone numbers by heart anymore.
no.
Like
Same.
back in the day, you had to literally memorize somebody's phone number because you couldn't just, unless you were like me and used to write shit down and had a little address book for a while until I found out my mother was going through it. So
It's a whole
I
other conversation about privacy as a
oh listen,
child, about
I
how
don't
it
even
doesn't
want to talk
exist.
about it. My mother, God rest her soul. She was a product of the times, we'll put it that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not. It doesn't surprise me. It just makes.
No.
But
It's a
yes,
product, she was a product of the times for sure, as was
yeah,
I. But
yeah,
anyway, whatever. I just miss I don't know anybody's phone number. If I'm ever in an emergency, I'm fucked. If my phone dies, because I don't know anybody's phone number. Nobody's.
exactly.
I
If my
barely know my
phone goes
own.
on the fritz and it
I don't
and
even.
then I'm in an emergency, I'm just like,
Well, shit.
I
It,
literally left a voicemail the other day and gave the wrong last digit to my phone number. And it was a very important phone call. So like voice message. So I realized it as I was saying, like I question it,
mm,
like I paused as I was saying it or said it, and then I paused, and then I was like, that number is wrong. This is my number. And then like at the end of the message, I repeated everything again because I had to leave like 3 bits of information.
right.
I don't even remember my own phone
I
number.
I don't know my phone number at all. The only reason I remember it is because I have to use it for certain things. Like the last four numbers of my phone number are a code
Mhm.
for something, or I have to use it as an identifier or whatever. But for the most part, like if somebody asks me my phone number, I got to think about it for a second. Like shit. Hold on, let me
Also
think. 202 fuck. What is my phone number? And then I had to go in my phone
and
and
look
look for my own phone number.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
old, bro. Like, what do you want me to do?
Also, I
What do you
love how
want me to do?
everyone's like, the first phone number you remember. Yes, I still remember 855-9005. I
I
still
don't
remember
remember.
my
I don't
very
think I
first.
remember 367. I don't think I remember. I don't think I remember any of my phone numbers, but I
But that
remember
was
some of my
also
old
like
addresses, which is weird.
I was gonna say that was also like the only phone number that I had for over 16, 18 years,
Oh yeah, we
something like
moved a
that.
lot. I had a
Like
bunch of
we
different
didn't
phone numbers growing up, different
yeah.
addresses, all sorts of wild shit.
Nice. I love being able to talk about this kind of stuff because I'm just like, I mean, it's interesting how, like, I think a lot of people in a lot of age ranges have lived in that, like, these transitionary times with technology.
Hmm.
But I do think a lot about, like, if you have a phone from a really early age, like the phones that we have now, they're
Yeah.
as capable as they are. Like, this is why we all need therapy. This is why every
Period.
single person we all
Period.
need therapy, period. Every single
Yeah,
person should have access and should be going to a therapist.
for sure.
But, like, the concept of having a powerful, like, internet magic in your hand 24/7
And
at,
they
like,
don't even know, and they have no idea what that in itself represents about how far things have come. Like my son, when I told him that, when this is when he was a little boy and we're talking about, Mom, what was it like when you were a kid? So I was like, well, we didn't even have cell phones. He was like,
yeah.
well, how did you guys talk to each other? I said, we had regular phones. He goes, oh, you mean a house phone? I said, "Yeah," because I used to have a phone in our home until he got older, and then it was pointless because all his little fast ass friends was calling it, and it was annoying. But
You're like, "No."
mm-mm. Okay, fam, you won. You won. Here, take it. But he was like,
That's how it works. That's
Just
how that
go.
works.
Like, whatever. They wear you down,
Yeah.
damn children. But he was like, "So, what did you guys do? How did you talk to each other?" I said, "Oh, well, we talked to each other at school, and then we would use the phone." And he was like, "But how did you guys take pictures of each other?" I said, "A thing called a camera." Wow. So you couldn't just pull out your fam, stop. Stop, all right? Like, it wasn't the dark ages. We had electricity. The fuck? We had TV. What are you talking about?
This is why I can't have kids because I would just laugh at them. I wouldn't have an answer. I would just laugh.
Sometimes you do, and hey, sometimes there is no answer but a laugh, honestly and truthfully. Sometimes there is no answer but a "What are you even talking about?" and a laugh, and I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes you just have to tell your kids that you don't know, and it's okay. And then you
That
spin it to be, it's okay to not know sometimes. So that helps you go find out information for yourself.
good
Child,
point.
please. Child, please. These damn
Also,
kids.
this is something. So Alex the Alchemist. My parents still have a landline, same number from when I was a kid. Those are rural. They can't really get cell signal out there.
See, that makes sense.
And that also reminds me of just like how giant this country is and how
Yeah.
like still not everybody has that access.
Still not everybody has access to the internet. Still not everybody has access to cellular towers or whatever.
That's the kind
Or
of stuff where I'm like, it should all be free.
yeah,
They're now necessities in a
exactly.
way
At
that
this point, especially with the pandemic, like internet access is a necessity because how else are these kids can't go to school?
literally I'm like, okay, so public school is free and it's accessible for all theoretically, but now that we're all from home, if you don't have internet access, then what are you doing? How do
Right.
you like
How do you survive?
yeah. Wait, what is this? Lori says, I once told my son I was as white as a piece of typing paper. He had no idea what typing paper
Girl, these kids are so my son, when he was in school, he was the last class that his school was teaching cursive to. They don't even
wow.
teach kids cursive anymore because everything is online. Everything is digital. So these damn kids don't even know how to sign their own name. They know how to print it, but they don't know how to sign. They don't know cursive.
Yeah, that is
It's
that part of
crazy.
it, the
It's
the
crazy.
non-signature part of it, that's where I'm like, "Oh, I really don't trust that." Like, to
It's
me, like,
sus to me.
that's
It's sus to me.
yes!
That's why I
Okay,
always made sure my son could write his name in cursive.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like that way, and I told him that way nobody can pretend that your name, because printing, anybody could fucking print. You know what
Mhm,
I'm saying? You have to be able to have a distinguishable signature to
yeah,
verify that your papers are your papers. His
exactly.
signature is ugly, but he's a guy. What do you
That's
expect? And
fine.
it's
Ugly
fine. At
signatures
least
are
he
ugly
has one.
signatures.
At
Like,
least he has one, because I'm
yeah,
sure none of his other friends do.
because that's the thing is, like, okay, if you have to sign the back of a credit or debit card or
Hmm.
whatever, like, as a full like, it's a kind of like a baseline, if it's
Right.
just print, anybody can just copy that and they literally steal your identity, ruin your life.
Literally. Right. No,
So
Sharon, they don't teach cursive in schools anymore.
that's
It's like a whole
really
thing. It was, and when they announced it, it was a whole big deal. A lot
I
of
remember
parents,
hearing about it,
yeah,
yeah,
a lot of parents were like, "What the fuck do you mean?" Because
yeah.
y'all are teaching them this weird, wild ass math, but y'all don't think y'all can teach them cursive. They're not going to use this weird, wild ass math either. But you make sure they learn that.
I
Like,
feel
I
like
don't
you should at least
understand.
have a cursive class, like a
Hmm.
signature class, like one that's just or like a moment in one of the classes where it's like, "Look, this is what cursive was, this is ways you could sign it, practice." Like, it would take a one class, I could probably
Right.
bet money on it, but, like, that's the part where I'm like, "That's really sus,"
Hmm.
because I don't trust anything going on in this country because that's
Me either. Because this country is not the tits.
some shit, up to some
It's
shit.
not the tits around here right now. I
Yeah.
will say that. I mean, it ain't as bad as it was a year ago at this time, but fuck, it's still
We're
shitty
not closed
nonetheless.
yet though. That's my I'm like January 21st or whatever
Praise the
date it's like
Lord.
Can we
Oh my
just
God, Sharon, I forged notes. I'm so sorry. I saw Sharon's comment
I love
jumped out at
this.
me.
We love this here.
I not only forged my own notes, I forged notes from my friends. Because my curse,
You
my
were the expert.
all my friends would be like, Tony, you have like mom handwriting. Your handwriting is so pretty. It looks like a mom's. Can you write my note for me? I can write her signature. I just need you to write the note. Or it would be vice versa. I'm telling you, forging my mom's signature is how I ended up having to go to summer school to graduate from high school because I was skipping school so
Hilarious.
much my senior year. Girl, it was ridiculous. This country, not the tits.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was too much of a nerd to do that, unfortunately. I was. I
not
was
me,
the
man. I was,
oh,
I have always been with the shits. Like, I was always that friend. Always, I would try. Sometimes I would try to talk you out of it. If it was some shit that I knew we couldn't get away with, I'd be like, okay, listen, y'all, like, let's rethink this for a second. But
like,
me,
we're going a little too far. We're going into
right?
Ferris
Let's
Bueller's Day
chill
Off.
out.
Like,
But oh, you guys want to sneak out? Fuck it, let's do it. Where are we going? Who's got the liquor? Turn the
let's go
fuck
right
up,
now.
and I will write our notes for when we stay home on Monday. Yeah, I was that friend.
Yeah.
I got in a
Yeah,
lot of shit. Man, I don't know how
I
my mom didn't kill me.
yeah, but you survived and you're a badass person now and doing good shit. I feel like I found those kinds of friends like college and post college. The like,
Yeah.
fuck this shit. Let's go. Let's get
Yeah, I didn't find many friends. I had like a group. It was a group of us in high school, me and these three other girls. Two of them were sisters. So we were like our little clique of chaos. Like we were doing so much dumb, stupid teenage shit that now the shit that my son used to do when he was still living at home and shit like that, I'm like, boy, please. This shit that you're doing? Please. Mommy was doing this shit before the world ever thought of you, okay?
you're
Let me
like
put you on to some game. Let me
teaching
hip you.
teaching your own kid how to game you better.
Like, come on, let me help you. Like, clique of chaos, that's what we were, bro. Like, we were crazy, like sneaking into the club at 16. Fucking one of my homegirls, her mother worked at the liquor store, right? So we would always go to the liquor
I don't
store
even want
together. We would always go to the liquor store together, and like two of us distract her mother by talking to her and shit, and the other one is stealing the fucking Boone's Farm. That's how old I am. Okay. Boone's Farm was flying off the shelves in my youth. All right. Cisco, we were just getting fucked up and doing stupid shit. Thank God there were no cell phones back then. Thank God.
That's the other part of it where I'm just like, okay, I had cell phone, in college, and you definitely could get proof of things, but that wasn't the kind of like drinker I was. Um, I love this from Alex. I was the nerdy kid who was friends with all the badasses. They never forced me into anything, but I also was bullied by everyone except them. The badass students are usually the kindest motherfuckers at the school. Like
Yeah, they
they'll
really
like
are.
I remember getting like trying to become more friendly. I was kind of friendly with a
Mhm.
couple of they were literally like the goth kids and they were in my art classes and
Mhm.
they were the sweetest people, but we were also
Right.
like so different, but I saw, like, the way they were able to express themselves and all that, and I had some envy and, like, appreciation for that, but they were just, like, sweethearts, like,
Right.
very, very kind people, but also took no shit.
Right.
But, like, with college, like, I still remember seeing a cousin of mine who was probably, like, 4 years younger than me, maybe a little less,
Mhm.
and when she went off to school, like, posting drinking photos on Facebook.
Like, when
Like
I was in high school and college aged drinking, I
yeah,
literally would have never.
exactly. Like, she was, like, barely 18, like, just went to college, And I remember seeing a photo of, like, her head back and 2 friends pouring in, like, Sprite and some liquor into her mouth on the internet at, like, age 18, and I was like, "You are a fucking idiot!"
I would
Like,
let me tell you
you
something.
are an idiot.
My mother, God rest her soul, she knew I started smoking cigarettes when I was, like, 17,
Yeah,
and she was always like, "Oh, I don't care, because 'cause you're gonna do what you wanna do anyway, but don't smoke around me." Even as I became a legal adult, I turned 18, my mother still until I was, like, 21, my mother did not want me smoking cigarettes around her. She
yeah,
wouldn't even let me have a drink around her until I was, like, 23, 24 years old, and every time we would do it, she'd be like, I still don't know how I feel about it, mija, but, I mean, you're an adult, so I guess I gotta relax." I'm like, "Mommy, whatever, like, this isn't
like,
the first
holding on
drink
to
I."
your childhood like
Right,
a
like, "This ain't
soft,
the
like,
first drink I ever had, ma." But, like, for me, when I was in high school, I wasn't one of those girls who was in one solid clique in high
yeah,
school. I was pretty much,
same,
like, kinda cool with everybody.
yes,
I was cool with people a little bit over here, cool with some of the jocks, because we were in classes together. I was cool with some of the nerds. I was cool with
yeah,
some of the goth kids. I was cool with some of the hoes. I was cool with some of the fucking weirdo guys, like, because I was like, "Well, fuck it, we're only here once in a lifetime." I don't
yeah,
have I don't have time to develop a personality to fit in with all of these cliques. Like, I can only be me. It takes way too much work to be everybody.
yes.
And I learned that more, of course, as I got to be older. But, like, I would have never been posting pictures of myself 18, 19, 20 years old drunk on the internet. Well, I can't say never because I didn't grow up in that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? All these
that's
kids
true.
know, all they know you know,
Yeah.
is seeing everything online. So they don't know about, you know, keeping some shit to yourself. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
that's fair.
saying?
It's
Like,
just it's
they don't know
interesting.
about it because their whole lives, all they've ever seen is everybody put their whole shit on the internet. But, like,
That's
if things were like when we were kids, we would know, you know what I'm saying? Okay, everything ain't for everybody. Everybody doesn't need to know your whole life. You know what I'm saying? But these kids,
true.
all they've ever seen is everybody's whole life. So they think they're supposed to do it too.
And they don't see people actually having repercussions for posting everything they
Exactly.
did on the internet. Because I
Exactly.
still remember people getting, like like, basically getting reports, I forget the organization, but, like, from downloading from Napster or LimeWire, like, getting actual,
People were going to actual jail.
yeah, exactly, and so
Like,
it's
I
like
remember that. I remember when Napster took over. I remember LimeWire. I
yeah,
remember the cases about pirated movies. Like, everything wasn't available like it is now. Like, you used to have to go through a whole lot to get shit for
and
free.
people were getting in trouble for it.
And
I remember
consequences were public. The consequences aren't
especially
public.
That's true. Especially in college, I think what was happening, at least on my campus, was, like, they were tracking that internet activity, and there
Mhm.
was people downloading massive amounts of movies and, like, TV shows, whatever, everything, and that's
Porn.
how they would
Remember
yeah,
when downloading porn would immediately crash your computer?
just, like, it'd be
Like,
like,
remember that? These
"I
kids have
downloaded
no
a
idea the
file," but
struggle.
instead there's, like, 50 files, and I'm like, "I didn't download
File
that."
corrupted, and then your whole fucking
Just
monitor blows up.
all the windows open, and I'm just like, I just
And
wanted
you're
to
like,
see
"Fuck, who
I'm
used
over
my
here like,
computer?"
I
Immediately, it's who was on the computer.
yes,
Because back
exactly.
then, it was like, as soon as you went to a porn site back in the day, even if you went to the porn site by accident, as soon as you hit enter and you were on that site, your computer was gonna catch a virus, and it was good
Just like
everybody was gonna know.
every pop-up, like, yes, Napster flashback, yes, exactly.
Napster was
And that's the thing, so Mo was saying, someone got kicked out of the Coast Guard for downloading using Napster.
Yeah, I
That's
remember. That
what
shit was
people were
crazy
people
back
were
in the
getting
day.
kicked out of colleges, getting reported, like,
Mhm.
so it's interesting to see, like, I am not keeping track with, like, super, super young people right now because 'cause I'm not I mean, like, I feel
I'm
like
not
the
interested,
people
honestly.
that I've met through Laguna Gang are, like, the youngest, and I think it's, like, early 20s, and even then, sometimes I'm like,
Mm,
"Oh, age gap makes
yeah. Oh my
makes
gosh. I
me
go through
feel."
that so much on Twitter. I'll be scrolling and I'm like, Tony, remember, she is 22, not 40 like you. Like, I have to remind myself sometimes these are actual children. Some of these accounts are run by literal children, 17, 18, 19 years old. They don't have anything in common with me except we both like fucking Milani ludicrous lip gloss. That's about all we have in common.
Yes, exactly, like, I have to remind myself,
Yeah.
but yeah, like, to think about now, the fact that you don't see repercussions
Well,
of
because now
putting.
think about it. Now they flipped it. They made the content downloadable because of things like Napster and LimeWire that showed that so many people wanted to have unlimited access to music. So many people wanted to be able to play music, to play the
Yeah,
songs they want and not just rely on what's on the radio to be
mhm,
entertained. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the music studios and the movie houses didn't really have any choice but to evolve with the times because people were making it do what it do regardless. People were
exactly.
finding out for, and LimeWire, those files were always corrupted. Oh my
You would
god.
feel like you could find anything, but the reality is,
Literally
especially if you're a
anything.
technology, like, noob to some degree, you also can't find anything. You could find anything, but you can't actually find anything, like,
Yeah,
that's what it felt like for
yeah.
me,
And you're
um
constantly there would be you would put in one song title, 75 versions of the file come up, and you have to listen to each one to make sure it's not corrupted, to make sure it's really the
listen
song,
through the entire length, because like, it'll be, like, the first 2 minutes will be fine, and then it's,
and
like,
then it's
this
hidden
loud,
porn.
blaring noise.
And then
I'm
it's
like,
hidden porn, and as
for
you're
that.
playing it, a what random vagina pops up on your screen, and you're like, "Fuck. Now my computer is gonna have a virus." Because back then, if you opened porn, you got a virus. No pun intended. It was
Exactly.
nasty.
Not that kind of virus,
The internet was
for the record.
nasty back in the day. Like, these kids don't know how great they have it now. Like, we worked out all of the kinks.
Yeah, it's really interesting to think about how, like, in some ways now we don't own any content, like, we stream everything, everything is a rental, everything is a literally a rental, like,
Yeah.
we don't actually own any of them, for a lot of people. I know some people still buy, like,
Some
through
people
iTunes
actually buy
or
music, and which
yeah,
I'm not gonna hold you. I do not. I pay my $10 a month to Apple. Okay? So y'all
yeah.
are getting my streams. Hi,
Welcome.
Elise.
Yeah, like, exactly, like, I have YouTube Premium, so I watch everything, like, and so
See,
YouTube
that's
Premium
something I can't bring myself to do it.
but
I'll
that's
just
why
fast forward through the commercials. Like, I
is
cannot do it.
because YouTube Premium also comes with YouTube Music, so I don't have to pay for Apple
Mm,
Music or anybody else, I just use
okay.
YouTube Music, and then I use YouTube Premium because I can't fucking stand ads, and I realized that it helps me watch more YouTube, and I
Hmm,
like watching YouTube. I
okay.
can watch it in the background on my phone, like, it doesn't shut down when I
Right.
it's like so that's and I really like YouTube, and, like, I don't have Netflix or Hulu or any of those streaming
Oh,
services.
okay, okay, so that makes
So,
sense then.
like so I it's the one thing that I really spend the money on. So I really like it. But, like, if the ads don't bother you, don't worry about it. But for me, because it
Right.
comes with the music part, I think if
See,
it
that
didn't
makes
have
sense.
yeah, if it didn't have the music part, then I'd be like, it's not really worth it. But
Right.
because now I have, like, the music that I any music I want right there,
Mhm.
it's fine with me. But
Right.
yeah, um wait, I love this from Alex. I won't stop buying Apple products simply because I'd lose my emo iTunes collection from high school. That's true.
That's one thing about Apple, those archives run deep, okay?
Yeah.
Apple saves all of your music shit from whenever. I haven't since I got my new, because I got this MacBook that I'm using, I got it as a birthday gift, so I haven't, like, gone into my old iTunes folder and, like, logged into iTunes to see, "Hey, I wonder what old music shit is gonna come up in here because 'cause I'm honestly kinda terrified. because I'm sure there's some LimeWire downloaded songs in there. And God only knows what's going to happen if I open Pandora's box. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to get like a 2004 mega super strong virus. You know what I'm saying?
On your
Like,
2020 computer? No,
yeah,
no.
no, 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 no,
It
no,
had
no, no, no.
16 years to like evolve and
And grow and fucking live off of whatever computer viruses live off of while they're in hibernation. And I can't be bothered. Open this up and some random weird vagina hops out at me. Like it's gonna be a problem. And I can't. I can't.
also, I just love how far we've come with Netflix. It was DVD,
Yes.
you had to mail, and
I
now it's
remember
just
that.
I mean, I do think that maybe old Netflix was better because there might have been more options. Because I feel like
HBO
they could.
Max is dope, Annie. I'm sorry. HBO Max is
Oh,
worth HBO Max totally worth the money.
okay.
Even before they announced this deal with
Oh,
Warner. Yeah, they announced a
that's
deal with Warner
cool.
Brothers. So movies are going to come out the same day they'll be
That
in the
makes sense
theater.
with COVID and
Right.
everything.
And nobody's
Huh.
going to the movie theater anymore anyway, so it's a double win for everybody. Like we win because we get the movie sooner. They win
Yeah.
because
They
traffic
don't
on
lose
their
out
side.
on yeah, exactly. Huh. I did have HBO Plus or whatever it was for
Mhm.
a while back when Game of Thrones was on and
Yeah.
not traumatizing. Um
The way they ended that shit, I'm still mad.
I'm still
Still.
and so HBO was like, "Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna end my subscription now." Because
Yeah.
I mean, they have other shows that I would watch, but, like, not as much, but
Now
HBO
they have
Max
a lot of new stuff now over the past like years.
Chelsea,
Hi. Over the last
um,
few years, a few months I should say, since quarantine, HBO Max has been coming up with some when the remake of The Witches that came out that they did was on the is on
oh,
HBO Max, which I've
okay.
watched twice and I do have feelings, but I need other people to watch it so I can discuss my feelings with them.
Okay, I need to get HBO Max to watch this because you know my love of witches. We've talked about
Exactly.
this.
And when I
The
didn't see you
original
tweet about it, I was like, Emily must not have HBO Max because I have not
no,
seen her talk about this yet.
no.
And I need someone to talk about it because I'm losing my mind. Like, I feel a way about it. And I just haven't been able to discuss it with anyone yet.
I just know that when I saw that Anne Hathaway was the lead, I was like, I think it's a no from me.
Now, see, Anne Hathaway I could fuck with because I figured it would be like, hey, I'd like to see Anne Hathaway in a role other than the Susie Sunshine winner victorious because I
That's
know
fair.
how The Witches ends. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like,
Yes. Yes.
I'm like,
Exactly.
okay, this will be cool. This will be something
Yeah.
different for Anne Hathaway from The Princess Bride or not The Princess Bride, The Princess Diaries
Princess
from
Diaries, yeah.
long ago. The last time she worked with Disney or whatever. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be cool. Not my
Okay.
favorite, man. I'm just gonna
Okay.
say that. It's not my
I'll have
favorite.
to look at HBO Max and see about
Yeah,
it, or figure out another way to watch it so we could talk. Because, like I said,
yeah.
witches is just
That's and like you know how I feel about it. Like
it's important. It's an important
it's an
movie.
important film in my life.
Like
Like
I
seriously. Like there's The Witches, A Christmas Story, Clue, and then everything else I've seen in my life. Like those
nice.
three movies are like
That's
me
amazing.
my
I feel
entire
like
life.
oh my gosh, Clue. Okay, I think it's The Witches, Beetlejuice, Clue, and Christmas Story are like my
Okay,
like
I could see
because
that.
Beetlejuice was important, but
Yes.
Clue, the humor in Clue,
Yes, and something about it, I've been watching that movie literally since I was a little girl. I've
same.
on my mom recorded it when it premiered on HBO, and me and my brother watched that videotape until it literally disintegrated. I purchased the DVD, and if I don't have it, like I lose it in a move or something, I repurchase it. I bought it
That's
on Comcast so I could have it forever if I move. Like I love that movie so much. I know it by heart, frontwards,
it's
backwards. It's a classic film that didn't get it the flowers that it deserved,
no.
but more people these days talk about it and how awesome it is because hello, Mrs. White.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
yes.
Like
I
an icon.
appreciate Comedy Central for playing Clue like consistently Like, that's how I remember seeing it, is, like, they would just
Yeah.
randomly play it, and
Well, you
yes,
guys who haven't seen it
flames
have to
on
watch
the
it.
side of the
On the
face.
side of my
I
face,
still
heaving,
reference that, like,
breathless flames
once a week, especially
because
in 2020.
because 2020 is like flames on the side of my face
That won't go away.
that
Just, like
won't stop. Like, I'm constantly sizzling.
and,
Madeline
like,
Kahn is an icon.
seriously,
We
also
bow
Tim
down to her.
Curry, like, the whole
Everybody
cast.
played their part so spectacularly. And even though I've
No.
seen this movie about a billion times, I still get caught up in it like I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm sitting there like, "Girl, why are you going in there with him? Ew, look at all them spider webs. Ew." Like, I haven't seen
I
it.
wish it was easier to do, like, movie streams in some
Oh,
on
that would be
some
so
format,
much fun.
'cause, like, I just would love to, like, sit there and, like, have a drink and watch Clue with, like, you and people and just
I
hang
think that
out.
would be so fun. I wish there was a way that we could do it. We have to figure out a way that we could do it. It would probably have to be something on Patreon because of the content.
Or through,
So,
like,
because
Zoom.
YouTube, yeah, because
Yeah,
YouTube's gonna take it down for the content for the
yeah,
film if we show the movie. Now, if
yeah.
it's playing and we mute it sometimes and play it, that's
But
different.
I think even if it's playing, they will catch those, like, the
Yeah,
bots are smart, they will, like, catch like, they'll recognize the audio and, like,
yeah.
take you down. It's
Yeah,
really
nobody has
it's
time for
really
that. It would have to
yeah,
probably be on Patreon then if you wanted to do it that way. Or everybody would have to watch it and then we would have to stream together. Like, we would all have to say, "Okay, we're gonna watch this movie by
yeah,
X date because we're gonna have a talk and it's gonna
yeah.
be us
Kinda like a book
dissecting a
club,
movie."
but a movie
Yeah,
club.
yeah, that would be cool too. That would be kinda cute.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
that's some
just
good
love that
content.
movie, and I love that kind of humor, and it
It's
stayed with me for so long,
into
and I
it's
just
camp at its finest. There's nothing more campy than
so
this movie,
perfect.
and I
It's
love
so
it. I love everything about it. I love the fashion. I love the makeup in the movie. I love the hair in the movie. I love the set design of the movie.
it's just so
Everything
good.
about it. Everything
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Like, the guy old school down to her shoes. Like, I just love it so much.
But it's so interesting too because, like, knowing other people that love certain films that have, like and, like, things that have stuck with you, and
Mhm,
I always wonder because so this is something I would see, in, like, workspaces, especially when you had, like, different generations working in the same space, or
mhm.
people that would be like, "You've never seen this movie? You
Yeah.
have to see it, you have" and then,
Mhm.
like, I remember I think it was Goonies. There was somebody that was, like, in their early 20s at the time, and then somebody that was, like, older, like, probably in their 40s, and then
Mhm.
me that was kind of right in the middle, and some of us older people were like, "It was so good." It was, like,
It was
such a like,
everything. It was
it was
iconic.
everything, and
It's
then
still iconic.
the 20-year-old at or in her 20s watched the movie and was like,
I don't get it.
"It was fine. I don't get
Oh,
it."
because,
And so
these damn kids don't appreciate anything. The Goonies is classic film. Fuck you, man. I
okay,
would've been so
yeah,
mad.
basically everything Mel Brooks makes me
Yes,
happy, but, like
Spaceballs, epic
okay,
classic.
Spaceballs is probably also at the in that list, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
just like The
yeah.
Goonies is definitely in my list. Alex, you've never seen The Goonies? My God, Jesus Christ.
But I think it is Sharon is putting it exactly what I'm saying. Isn't it amazing how deeply we can feel our cultural references? Like,
We really can.
the, like, weird, campy humor, the things that I'm just like I said, the things where I'm like, "Wow, that was weird," and that stuck with me. It's like, "Yeah, it was
Yeah.
weird from day one." Like, that's just
Right. Like, it was
that's
weird
who I
then,
am.
but when we were kids, we didn't care it was weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when I exposed my son to, because, like I said, I've watched Clue literally since I was a little kid, so when my son came along, we were watching that shit too, to where now, like, my son loves that movie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I
He's at
love
that
it.
weird stage where he won't admit it right now. You know what I'm saying? He's 18, he'll be 19 in March, so whatever shit bonding shit with mommy isn't cool right now. But when he
He'll
gets a
come
little bit
back.
older, he'll circle the block and then we'll hang out and watch Clue and The Goonies and Harlem Nights and all the old school movies from before his time that I used to make him watch that he loves. So, because parenting is just a constant loop of circling back to things.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm still amazed you have an 18-year-old son. Like I'm just
people still, no matter how many times I say it, people are still like, "How?" And I'm like, "Well, because I'm 40 years old." And they're like, "How?" I'm like, "Girl,
you and
I don't know."
Yolanda. Do you know Yolanda, Deeper Skin Tone on YouTube?
I'm Yoga with Mo.
No, Yolanda. I know she's been in some of our live chats, but
I
she's another
might.
person who has I think her daughter is 18, and I'm just like, how,
Listen, I was
you
there.
beautiful ageless
Well,
human
thank you.
being.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, like to have as much joy and glow as you do, and to be a parent of a teenage person is
It's
also
it honestly, most of it is because he doesn't live at home anymore. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when he was still living at home,
fair.
still
That's fair.
teenagering,
Teenage boying. I
okay,
know.
no. I mean,
No.
listen, my son, bless his heart, I love him to death. I was not sad when he moved out. Like, no, it's time. 'Cause I'm gonna kill you now. Like, we're the same height. Like, he's my height now, so it's not even like when he was little and I could give him a
There's
little
no
pow pow.
dominating that
No
space.
fear. And it's not even there's no domination, there's no fear. He is not
Ah,
scared of me now that he's the same that we're at eye level. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looks at me like, "Ma, for real?" Like, but
like you're even
now
gonna
he,
try to
Really, mom? Really, you gonna accept me?" How about that? But like, when he got his new car, he came home, he called me, he said, "Mom, can I come over and come show you my new car?" I was like, "Yeah, I wanna see." And
aw.
I'm trying not to cry because 'cause I'm like, "Look at my baby, my little baby. He's still my little 5-pound boy, my little bag of sugar," because that's what they used to call him at the hospital when he was born, because he was
As he's
5
staring
pounds
you in
even.
the eye, he's your 5-pound baby,
Literally, and I'm slightly having to tilt up a little bit, which is scaring me
and you're
because that
like,
means I'm
"Don't."
shrinking. That means I'm
Oh,
shrinking because he's not growing anymore. It's a whole thing. Being a mom is just circling the block of whatever. Something you told them 10 years ago, something you felt 5 minutes ago, something being a parent is circling the block and having a
it
clique of chaos
it's
in
so
your
funny.
house at all
Okay,
times.
clique of chaos is life mood. Like, that is
Yeah.
my friend group, like, my closest friends, we
Yeah,
are a
it's the
clique
clique of
of
chaos, and it's
chaos.
great.
I
The
love
fuck?
every moment of it, like,
Yeah.
I
I love it. And when there's not any chaos going on, I'm like, "Okay, is everybody okay?
I'm like,
What's
tap, tap,
happening?
tap, mic on,
Let's
are you
taste
still
this.
communicating?
Let's
Like,
taste
what's going
this.
on?
I
Like,
wanna know.
but
Oh,
it's so
you hooked up last night, bitch. Tell me what happened. I wanna know." Like, I'm that friend. Like, "Give me the tea, bitch. I wanna know."
I just love how you say that, like, parenting or being a mom is circling the block, because I do remember the feeling of being like, "Why do they say the same thing over and over again? I hear
We
it."
we
But
repeat ourselves because
I
we see
understand.
you guys doing the same thing that we just talked about.
Yeah,
Kids don't the kid doesn't always see that they're repeating behavior, but you as the parent, the third party on the outside of their behavior looking in are like, "No, bitch, you literally just did this shit 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks ago I told you the next time you did it, you were gonna get grounded." So then when you come up with the punishment, they're like, "For what? What did I
that's
do?"
fair. I could understand. I could, see how my parents repeating things, like, they could remember that, but I wasn't seeing my or one of my siblings'
We never
behaviors
do.
repeated.
You
Like, it's just
literally
funny.
never do until you have kids. Like, 'cause if I didn't have my son, I'd be totally oblivious. I'm not even gonna lie. I'd have no idea. None. I'd be like,
I
"What are
just
these what's going on? I don't understand."
I love it how, like, every day I can literally learn something new, even being stuck at home. Like, I'm just like,
Same.
"Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense," and
Yeah.
I hadn't had it framed that way of just like, yeah, we see things that you don't see and vice versa.
Miss
So
Lori is fresh. "My bedroom is a room of chaos. Take that however you like." Well, all right now, ma'am. I see what you
Lori,
did there.
spicy. Spicy, spicy.
Spicy. I love
2020
a
has
little
just been,
spice.
like, the year of chaos. That's what it
Fam,
feels
it's
like.
it's 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 insane. Some good chaos, a lot of bad chaos. And the monotony has become kind of chaotic if you think about it. Like, the
Yes.
monotony of, "Okay, well, I already know what today is gonna be. Today is gonna be another day of me sitting in these sweatpants at this computer, fake working in my house for 8 hours."
The
Then I'm gonna
monotony.
then I'm gonna get off work. I'm gonna make something to eat. I'm gonna watch some TV, and then I'm gonna go to bed. And then tomorrow I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna walk across my bedroom and sit at this desk for another 8 hours. Blah, blah, blah. It's like Groundhog Day. So, but you know how like in Groundhog Day something different. It's the same day over and over and over, but it was still like this ball of chaos because it was the same shit over and over.
It's very
That's
much Groundhog
2020.
Day.
That's
Yeah,
2020. The same
yeah.
bullshit every day. It's just now now more people are doing bullshit online instead of bullshit at their work. Oh, I
Yeah.
very much fake work. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like it's a skill. It's a skill. And because
What if
even when I was going to my actual office, I fake worked a lot. It's all
Oh,
about
yeah. Office
positioning.
job,
It's
I
all
faked
about
work.
positioning. As long as when my boss would come out of his office
It's
used to
like,
be behind my desk. I'm sitting here and I'm fake typing. I'm looking at paperwork because I have all my shit by my desk. So as soon as I hear that door open, I got something right there behind by my side to be fake busy with. Fake working. Thank you.
I am a fan of TikTok, and I saw one recently that just hit so close to home. It was like, we used to go to work, and then we would come home and not have work.
Yeah.
And now in the year 2020, instead of doing like things like do work and take a break and stop working, instead I am vaguely unproductive all day. And I was like,
Yes.
that is me,
That
because
is a
I'm just like,
mood and a
I'm gonna sit
lifestyle.
down and do a thing. 2 hours later, "Oh, the thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, I need to do the thing." And then I'll do, like, a third of it, and then I'm distracted by something else, and then I'm like,
Yes.
"Oh, wait, I
Oh well,
could."
fuck it.
Yeah.
Peak example of distraction. The other day, I'm on Twitter, scrolling, minding my business. Okay. Because I had just finished sending in work email. So I was annoyed that somebody had disturbed my peace. So I'm scrolling and I see this story, which under normal circumstances, I would have read the headline, laughed, and kept moving.
Yes.
This story grasped such a hold on my bored brain that I spent 90 fresh minutes reading the article and pondering the story behind this article. 90 entire minutes of me sitting at my work desk, but on my phone, like, what?
The look on your face right
What?
now.
Like, that was me. 90
Oh.
fresh minutes. My work email is going off. I'm like, fuck this, man, because this shit is important because I gotta know. I got questions that still have yet to be answered. It was insane. It was insane.
I love how Faye is like, "I know what Tony's gonna talk about."
I'm not gonna yes, this is what
Tony's
I
gonna
was
talk about this all
yeah,
day on Twitter.
yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna bring that here because I
Again,
don't
if you
wanna go all
don't
over
follow
it.
Tony on Twitter, I have it linked in the description box. You should go and scroll back and
Follow me
see
on
that
Twitter because
that
we're not gonna
interview.
revisit because then I'm just gonna be here for another 45 minutes with my questions and nobody is interested. But
I love how
so
you
many
just you
questions.
just left the perfect little, like, gift to get people over to your Twitter. Because
See, I
I
do
see
this, man. I
Eeyore
do this.
and Sharon and people being like,
The ones who follow me and know, and the ones that don't are like, "Wait."
"What you talking about? What's going on here?"
It involved quite a lot of penises. We'll just put it that way. Not in my vicinity though. Before y'all think I'm on some freak shit. It didn't have nothing to do
No,
with me. Somebody else was engaged
Tony
with
was
the
not
25
involved in the
penises.
story.
No
You just didn't.
penises were in my vicinity in the creation of this story. Okay? But it was some wild
Just
shit. And
just
I sent it to the group chat. I'm like, yo, y'all, what is going on? It took them too long to answer. So since they didn't answer, I had to go back on Twitter and ask my questions there because my bullshit friends were taking too fucking long to respond to me.
I just no penises were in the vicinity of me is my mood. So that's
Okay,
why I was
listen.
laughing. I was
Here lately, it's been a mood. And I definitely agree that working from home has been a luxury and a curse. It definitely has. Like when I was going to my office every day, I was constantly telling my supervisor, there is no point for me to come in this motherfucker every day. I do not need to be in this office every day to do my job.
the universe was like, "Here's your gift. You asked for it."
I should have been more specific in my request because this is not what I wanted either. Because now
No.
I don't have any choice to go to my office or not.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all, I'm going to tell you. Since enough of you want to know, I'll tell you really quick. So I see this article, right? In the article, this Hungarian diplomatic dude, right, gets busted.
I like how you go straight into the
Shit!
giggle.
Okay, so look, he gets busted, right? They find some police finds him in the gutter around this building or whatever. They find narcotics in his bag. This man had just fleed, according to the article, he had just fleed from a 25 all man orgy, right? So the article says, a quote from the article that I still cannot forget. We apparently broke up a gangbang. And like that's all that so the whole day, the whole afternoon, I'm like, how does something like this happen? How did this event come to pass? Did they put out a flyer on Facebook for this? Who's on the flyer? What happened? Who's cleaning this room? Because I know it smells like funky ass. Because men are not the most hygienic. You know what I'm saying?
No.
What's happening to all the skeet everywhere? Who's cleaning it up? Is there Glade plugins? Are there towels? Is there a hydration station? I know all this
Is it
sex
just
thing.
wrapped in plastic so they can just peel the plastic down into a
What
giant ball and throw that away?
happened? I need to know. Like I have to know. I have all these questions about this, you know what I'm saying? I just had all these questions. Oh, and yeah, the guy was homophobic. I forgot to tell you guys that. That's what made it even better. The diplomat or whatever he was like one of the hugest, most vocal homophobic people in Hungary. So that just added to the tea about it. It was just messy, child, and I love me some mess as long as I'm not in it.
Who's cleaning this
Who's
up?
cleaning it up? Who's cleaning it up? I gotta know.
And
Who's
Elisa's
cleaning it up?
right. That room was
Nasty. I
nasty.
know the smells alone.
No, no.
It was just
I love this, Sharon. The whole building should be filled with boiling bleach or just burned down. I agree with that.
for sure. And then bury the ashes because my
Seriously.
gosh, that was a lot going on. So for me, it was like that's 50 balls. You know what I'm saying? Like that's 50 nuts,
Oh
25
no.
dicks. Like it's a lot. Like the math of it is a lot. The math
Something
of it is
about 50
overwhelming. Like
balls just broke me. 50 balls.
50, 50. That's gross, fam. Dingleberries everywhere because guys don't wipe their ass right. Like it's just
It smells.
who's maintaining the lube? Does everybody bring their own lube? Is there a lube station? You know how they have like the little hand sanitizer things when you go to the store now that you pump? Is there a lube pump? Who knows what's going on? Were some dressed like women? Were some dressed like little boys? I have questions. I need to know, were there some diaper guys involved? Were there some whips and chains and things going on? I have to know. I'm too nosy. I gotta know.
Sharon, that's at least 45 too many.
At
That's
least
fair.
45 too many.
Also, Faye made a good point. Not all men have balls or penises. That's
That's
fair.
true, which
So,
adds a whole other turn to the tale. You see what I'm saying? I have questions. I need to know the demographics of this
yeah,
scene.
yeah.
I need to know because I don't want to assume that they were all cis men. I don't want to assume that
This.
everybody was.
How was it organized? Was there a spreadsheet? Sign-ups like a
How is
potluck?
there an
That's
email?
more what
Is there an email mailing list? How did they know about this party? Is this just a continuation of the previous month's affair? Is this a monthly thing? Is it a bi-weekly thing? Is it an annual thing? Is there a membership card required to enter? Do they do membership programs to where like the commercials on PBS? I gotta know. I got questions. What you want me to
like,
do?
how did it even begin? Where did it even,
How?
like,
Who said, you know what? You know it would be really fun, you guys? 25 of us in a room and we just get to fucking. Like, I gotta know whose idea this was. It's clearly a potluck because everybody was sharing everything up in there.
Apologies, Elise.
Oh, I'm sorry, Elise.
Oh,
Is there reward points?
Trin, I am not reading that out loud. I'm just putting it on the screen. Just gonna say.
Oh my lord. See, the world is wild. Like I don't want to be in the
Can you
room.
earn reward points?
That's what I'm saying. Is it like the Ulta Rewards program, or is it more like the Sephora Rewards program? Not so great. Like, I gotta know.
But you still keep coming because you're just
But you
like,
still, because they have the high end stuff you're looking for. Ulta delves a little in the gutter with what they provide. Look at us. We're so fucking terrible.
I agree
Annie,
with
yes.
Ani. As
Of course,
long as it's
safe
safe
and
and consensual.
consensual, of course. I'm just here for the jokes.
Yeah, no.
Definitely treat it like a pool and scrub everything.
But here's the thing is that it's funny because it is like I have a like operations brain. Like I have a logistics brain. I
Me
think about
too.
these things like how does it like not like it's a bad thing or it's a shameful thing. None of that. It's just
Right.
how do they
How does it
do this?
happen? See, I
How
because
do
like
they
I
like
get the the simple mechanics of homosexual sex from the things
and
that
then
I've
this
seen.
part, the fact that
Yeah,
the dude was
yeah,
homophobic. That's the
yeah.
part also where I'm like, how did this motherfucker end up in this situation? That's
How?
also like
How? Has he been in the scene for years and he's just now getting exposed? Was this his first foray? Was he going undercover? There's so many questions. So many questions. I gotta know. I gotta know.
do you remember what day that was? Because I was trying to actually
Um,
scroll back and see if I could find, like,
I don't
if you
remember,
have a
but I've
start.
read the article so many times that it will pull up on my phone, I'm sure, with no trouble. Bear with me, folks. It was
I'm
on the
just like,
Business Insider website, by the way.
I wanna see, like, where you were talking about because here's the thing is that I actually don't know if I saw you talk about this in the moment, but my memory is so bad sometimes that, like, because as you're talking about it, I'm like, "I remember this, but I don't, but I do, but I don't."
I just posted the link on my Twitter through my
But I think
phone because
it's
I don't know how to
also,
do it on here.
uh,
Wait, hold on. Let me
my
go to my Twitter. You guys, I'm old. Okay, I don't do this all the time. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. There it is. Okay, okay, okay. Let me copy this and I'll put it in the chat. Copy link to tweet. I
oh,
am
you know
such
what?
an old
Found
lady.
I found it.
Oh, you found it?
Uh,
Okay, because I don't even know how to put a link in here. I can only do it in the private chat. There it is.
that
Yeah.
was where it's all started for Tony. This
Because
is
somebody else that I follow shared the link. And when she shared it, she goes, what? So I'm like, so just the headline before I even actually went and read the article, just off the headline, I had an abundance of questions that I began to ask. Then I physically tweet, let me go read this article so that I can really, maybe some of my questions will be answered there within. They were not. It only left me with more questions. What I loved were the highlighted bullet points in the article where they're like, here's the key points. And it's all some wild shit.
and I posted the link you just shared, but it's from your
Yeah.
Twitter because y'all should be going and following Tony and then click the link to the article. Okay, just gonna say. I
So,
just love honey, I was mine. Mo, I was trying to edit and I got some wine and it come back to orgies.
listen, this
Yes,
one takes the
there are
cake
links. There
because
are
I'm
links.
not, hey, do whatever gets you off. There were just too many little breadcrumbs of information. The guy is a raging homophobe. So immediately I'm intrigued, like, oh, let's see how this homophobe got caught up. So as I continue to read, because these homophobes that are publicly homophobic are typically the most homosexual. So that didn't surprise me. What surprised me was that he was in this 25-man orgy. And then the math started mathing in my brain and I'm like, "Wait a minute. 25 guys. That's 50 fucking nuts. That's 25 dicks of varying sizes and smells, assuming that all of these men are cis, of
And
course."
also, he's homophobic, but he's in that space.
So
Like that
what's
what's
going on? I need the tea. So I read the article and I still have questions. What happened now? Did the guy go to jail? Has he done a press conference since? I need some follow up. Like,
okay, I feel like you need to do a podcast on this.
I've
Just
thought
talk
about
about
it, but I was like, nah, is anybody really going to want to hear me ramble
I
for
am
30 minutes.
enthralled because of the way you're like, the math of it all, the organizing, the this, the that, like
I have all these questions and I just want to know. Like, police raided the orgy and the guy escaped down the drain pipe and then was arrested, then resigned. But was he naked? How many people were in? You see what I'm saying? The
yeah.
more you read the article, the more questions unfurl themselves. What?
And this is a thing too, Feffy, is like I don't think that homophobic people are all secretly gay, but
Oh
I
no,
think
I'm sorry.
it's and I don't know if that was the what was assumed. I'm not sure.
No,
I just
I was
wanted to
saying
say
like a
like,
lot of these people, these politicians and stuff that will rail publicly about how against homosexuality they
yeah,
are, a number of them come to be exposed later on as actually into it.
yes. Also,
I'll say.
Alex, you just walked into a moment.
Hi, Alex.
If you go to Tony's Twitter, you will see the article we are talking about. A Hungarian politician who is homophobic, but was also
Okay.
found in a 25 man orgy or
See,
25 person
the
orgy.
number of I just feel like because they said it was all men. Like for me, I'm like 25. There's not a lot. When this is me being, and this is me being a cisgendered woman who's never been to, you know what I'm saying? Such an affair as this, I'll say. Okay, because I definitely do not want to intentionally or unintentionally offend anybody. So in my like cis, what the fuck type of vision, I closed my eyes and all I saw was every type of man that I've ever seen. And I'm like, who wants 25 of that?
That is really what it comes down to
You know what I'm saying?
for
Like,
me personally,
who
but
there's
also
that's a lot and there's a lot of mechanics involved in all of this. Like, is there a schedule? Like, do they all just start in at once and everybody's just whatever, or is there like from 8:30 to 8:50 we do the
and again,
tower of
the logistics, the operations of it all,
well,
where I'm like,
I need the logistics. I need the
also, if
logistics
that kind
and
of
the
job
guest list because
exists,
I'm nosy.
like, I would be fascinated to do that kind of work. Just saying. I
I
feel like
I
it
too would
probably
like
pays
to
well,
I'd like
and
to plan these sort of affairs. Offer
yes, I
them a little towel station with warm
keep it
towels for
safe
the
and simple
aftermath,
and
keep everything
comfortable
safe,
and
hygienic. We've got
yes.
our hand sanitizer over here, and there's a restroom you guys can use that has a shower, whatever type of cleanliness y'all prefer. Do they introduce themselves?
Yes,
Are they from the same
exactly.
town? That's what I'm saying. Where did all these people come from? You see what I'm saying? The
The operations behind it, it's really because again, if
It's the
this is
logistics for me. It's the logistics for me.
I love
And
that
it's
we can have this
definitely a busy
conversation
day.
'cause it's just like my brain goes into how
How?
how?
And
And
why?
also because I am somebody who is learning more about, like, kink and BDSM, both as, like, a interest and a research,
Yeah,
and I am team consensual safe sex, do
right.
anything you
Do
wanna
you,
do,
boo boo?
like, that makes you happy. It
Mhm.
it's a situation that boggles my mind sexually,
Yeah.
but the logistics part of me, I'm like, "But also, how?"
How?
Like, okay, can we build these safe spaces to do these things? And how is it done? And who's doing them? And
Right.
again,
See, for me,
could
it's
I
the how because then it's like, okay, so first of all, let me see, is this something that I could flip for my homegirls? To where I could make this like a marketable event
that's
type
what
of
I
thing?
mean. That's
Is
also
this
part of
something
it where I'm like, these jobs exist?
Right, because I mean, I've been a party planner, I've been a party promoter. I know marketing. I know this. I know parties. Like,
Yes.
I don't have to actively participate to get the vibe you're trying to portray. Like,
Exactly.
I
I
don't
don't
want to be
need to
wading
be
in
a
the dicks.
part of
I don't
that.
want to be wading through the sea of dicks to pick mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the Pokemon gotta catch 'em all feel for that. An orgy planner. I high key would do it. The
I
fuck are you talking about?
yes.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen. I don't have to be there. Sign me up. Because
Oh,
hey, I'm with it. Do they pay a premium? See, Alex, that's another question. Is this a pay for play kind of membership
you know the
situation?
kind of party, Tony.
I don't know
Well,
this kind of party, but I can read. And
yeah.
I'll just listen to my client, and whatever they want is the affair that I will provide.
And the other part of it that is making my brain hurt, and I know it's not a pandemic everywhere, but it's a
That
in this
too.
it's
But
a
see, in the article, he says he violated the fucking quarantine to even go. So did everybody take a COVID test? That's what I want to know. Did they take a COVID test before they got to slapping balls? Like, I gotta know the logistics. I want to know the logistics.
yeah.
How do they break off
It
into?
it should be generated. This is
I'm
hard
sure that
work,
it
just
could.
thinking
I'm
about
sure
it.
that
I
it
mean,
could.
I don't
You
know
know what I'm
about
saying?
that situation,
You
but
get vendors for the towels,
yeah.
sponsorships. You get a specific lube brand to sponsor the event.
Get a water sponsor,
Okay, a
like
water
a snack
sponsor.
sponsor, like
You could make this the talk of the town. Let me help you. Help me help you plan the orgy of your dreams. Oh my god. Oh shit. Where did my towel go? Oh my god.
Oh,
Help me.
we
Oh my
have
god.
ventured into unexpected territories.
I didn't know this was coming. No pun intended. Oh wow.
Alex, I can't even read that out loud because I'm laughing so hard.
Did everyone take a COVID test before
A
super
different
spreader?
Alex.
Oh my god, that's so gross. Is there like an awards ceremony at the end of this? Are there like superlatives like in high school? Like the best of
Oh
X category?
no.
Do you get like a little crown? Do you get a sash? Do you get some flowers? Is there a prize? If not, there should be.
Oh, it was broken up because it violated
Uh-huh.
quarantine. The ordeal was the problem, it was the
Right. It's not a problem that it's an orgy. It's a problem that they're having an orgy during COVID. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got
He's
it.
like
Got
a
it. Got
dude, he's like, "You're hired."
it. Hey man, listen, shoot me your budget. Let me know what your budget is and
I'm
I'll
like,
flowers. Yes, there
"We're
has to be
planning."
flowers.
Oh, yes.
There has to be flowers. There has to be some sort.
Elise coming through, the regular girl professional erotic event planning services.
Listen, Elise is going to be my PR manager. Okay. Elise is going to be my PR person because she gets me. All right.
Tyrion, I think, has just seen me laughing and is like,
Tyrion is
"What is
stressed.
the
He's like,
alley?"
what is happening here? Elise, I'm going to send you, we're going to talk about this. We'll do up a contract because you're going to be my PR person because you understand the way I work and worded that so professionally that
Yeah.
I want to book a gig with me.
Also, by the time, like, let's say 2023 comes, you will have had years to plan this out, and it'll now be safe in the United States. And you'll have a game plan. You'll have pre-marketed. And it'll just be like, okay, everyone has a vaccine. We're all good now. It's
Okay,
on. Okay, orgy time.
there's the bucket of condoms. Y'all do what the fuck y'all came to do. I'll
I mean,
see
it's
y'all
not
next
just
time.
one we're talking about. This is a series of events for anybody
It's
that
a
wants to
series of
hire us.
events. Listen, we can do a month-long affair once a week for the
It's
month.
like the college campus, and they have tables set
Are
up
there
in the
brochures
line. You can
after? You know how
consider
like when
your
you go
little.
when you go to the club and when you leave the club, you have flyers on your car? Were there like flyers on the cars after this? Like
Um,
promoting the next affair? Is it a secret club like Fight Club where all they ask is trust? Like I gotta know. I gotta know.
yes, we will have to talk allergies. We will have to talk
Yes. We will have to
safe
provide all the different
words.
options, safe words. We will
Have
implement
a goodie
all of
bag
the
on the way out.
rules.
Yes, sponsors for goodie bags. Goodie bags are necessary.
Of course,
Sponsor
there's
your
going to
goodie
be a sponsored goodie bag because the lube is sponsored, the water is sponsored, the condoms are sponsored. So all of that is going to be in the goodie bag
bag.
so you could remember this event forever.
Fire
Firefest could literally never, okay? Literally, because they didn't even plan. They just threw a bunch of people on a beach and said, "Fuck it, we'll figure it out."
They
We
were like,
care
"We
about
have
your
money.
event.
We're just waste the money." And I'm like, "No, no."
We roller skating. That's what I'm saying. Are there activities? Were
Mhm.
there activities before, during, and after the sex? Is the sex optional? Do you go to this and just hang out naked and not have to
And
have
it's
sex?
you know,
You know what I'm
there's
saying?
okay, this is actually a conversation we should be having with Audra because Audra has more context on different
Yes.
roles and relationships in the BDSM community,
Because
the
I
kink
definitely
community.
do not. I am
And
very much a cis woman who has tendencies of bisexuality. I'm very much not the authority for anything unless it's ratchet. Like if it's you want to talk about some ratchet shit and make some jokes, I'm your girl.
but see, what you're talking about is like classy. You're trying to take something
I'm
that's
trying to make this
that's ratchet
ratchet
and make
affair a classy affair, okay? We can do sophistiratchet, as they say, which is a little sophisticated
you
and a
don't
little
know what
ratchet.
you're saying.
Because 25 of you guys wanting to have sex for an untold number of hours is a little ratchet.
Mhm. Mhm.
It, I just want you guys to have the best experience possible. Okay.
Xanadu, but X-rated sounds like a dream.
I'm with it.
The rainbows and like holographic details and great music and roller skates if you want or whatever.
Man, there's stages and they're in there tossing it up.
Yes.
It's like a whole affair. It's a whole affair. Like you can come before the coming and
I like that.
partake in some. Was there a themed beverage of this affair?
Of course there
I
is.
feel like
They're gonna be theme cocktails that like
the balls
and
buster.
non-alcoholic drinks. Like we'll do a couple
Right,
of themed like things. We can have like, something that's pink and something that's maybe purple and something that's green or I don't know, all the
right,
colors of the rainbow
right.
represented in beverages. Yeah.
The
No, that's
ball buster martini sounds like a qualified affair. Is there a
yes.
fog machine? Definitely a fog machine. Definitely club lights.
Yes.
Because you
I
want it to be
also
kind of dark, but you kind of want them to be able to see each other.
and there can be like different areas that are lit differently. So people that are
Right,
more into showing off can pick a more lit area, and people that want to be a little bit more private can pick a more dark
right.
area. It needs
There's
to be
there's
carved
rooms, there's
before.
private rooms if you and
Yes.
whomever want to get busy in private. You're not into the group thing, there's the
Exactly.
little, like they used to have at the raves, the little cuddles of people sitting here and there and cuddling because they're doing whatever. Listen, this is a free and open space to be
Yes.
yourself comfortably.
I love this. Also, like the
Okay,
carved
so
rooms.
first of all, that is the theme of
Yes.
my orgy
Yes.
party planning company.
A free and
Creating
open place
spaces.
to be yourself comfortably. Look at you creating spaces to be yourself open and comfortably. I love it.
Pow!
I love
Yes, let me get some business cards and get this shit popping. What are you talking about?
I love because Mo was like, I'll have a tantric meditation in the other room and like, or
You see what
tantric
I'm saying?
yoga.
Listen,
Like,
we need to. Yes, you do need to get loose before you get loose, Alex. I feel you. Scratch on the rocks. You guys, listen, we need to. I'm going to have to do a whole podcast about this now because
yes, you
I
are.
have
Yes,
way
I'm
too many.
telling you.
Because, like, me, you, and Audra need to sit and talk. That's what
Yes.
we need to work this out because I'm totally prepared now to do Tony's tantric parties or whatever the fuck. Like, I'm here with it. To be yourself comfortably or to beat yourself.
Well,
Ah!
but not everybody that's going to come to the event might beat
And
themselves. They
hey,
might just
we
watch.
leave that open ended because the choice is yours.
Exactly. There was so much like just okay, as soon as Ani said Xanadu vibes, I was like, "Oh, I imagine this in my head." Like
Soft pinks and purples,
and like you said, like the cuddle puddle, like
gauzy
soft,
curtains,
like
gauzy,
piles of like
just
couches that
people.
are super comfy and like rainbowy effects and all of just like
I want to go to this party. I want to
I
go.
knew we could generate income. Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yes.
Dancers for entertainment. Choose your
Choose your
own
own adventure.
adventure. I'm here for that.
There
The
is
freaky sneaky.
there is
Tell
just
me,
like so much
I'm
we could do
having
with this,
such a
if I'm
great
being honest.
time. This is so much fun. Thank you guys for
Nobody
entertaining my.
answered relations.
I'm saying, right? And the little girl in the gift just does this. Bam.
Except it's not gonna be that for everybody.
Hey, listen, the choice is yours. You can get with this or you can get with that, as the song says.
Or you can watch, because that would be me. I would be there just like,
Because I'm fascinated. I have questions like, oh, how did you do that?
I'll be like, how am I doing this? I
Oh.
don't need anybody to touch me. You
Yeah,
can
no,
all
no,
stay
don't touch
away.
me.
You can
I'm
all
I'm
stay away. But I will watch.
I'm cool, but I'm interested. I'm intrigued
Oh, Voodoo Kitty, you walked into the
to some.
tail end of a stream, and we started talking about a situation that happened in Hungary that
You gotta watch
involved.
it back, girl, because
Yeah,
it's
you gotta watch that. It's
quality
it's
television on the
it's
internet.
it's a lot. We've been talking about Xanadu themed party for adults. Let's just say that.
Wait, see, Tony, orgies aren't about questions; they're about answers. And I
We
got
are
all
a
the.
solution-based group.
We are a solution-based group here at the Regular Girls Tantric Affairs. Okay, you got questions, we got answers. I got a wink at the end of all of my ads for my company. You know what I'm saying? So they feel like I'm with it.
Between having some cleavage out and the wink, it's just enough where they're like,
Oh, I for sure have to have my tits out in my
yeah,
ads. I
yeah.
have to have my tits out in my ads so that they get the vibe. Listen,
I love it. I love it so much. Yes,
I'm
I
here for
would
it.
love to do a
Popcorn
whole
available for
podcast.
the plus ones. See, now that's see, Alex, you're thinking. You're thinking because the plus ones got to do something.
Yes. Yes. Also, Isabel, welcome. Isabel is a support,
Hi.
and you have to, oh, I can't even explain where we're at right now. There is
We're in a weird place.
replay for you to watch and
It's kind of my
enjoy.
fault. I brought us here. I'm not gonna lie. I'll take responsibility.
you you arrived just in time for the boobies and the butts. There's a lot of
In
conversation about that. You walked right in the middle. You jumped right in the pool.
yeah, April, yes. BYOP affairs. See, listen, man, you guys are totally fueling my insanity, and I appreciate it so much. I
Yeah.
feel seen. I feel heard and understood here.
Yes.
Thank you.
And wristbands, lots of different wristbands
Oh,
for
for sure. For
you.
sure. People who want to
Uh,
go to different rooms have a different wristband because what we do not want is chaos, other than the chaos they create amongst
there's
themselves.
like some general chaos everywhere, but we're
Of
not
course, because
encouraged
all events
inappropriate
have their modicums of chaos, but we're not going to encourage any if we can. We want everybody healthy and consensual.
Most tits are pretty amazing.
I'm here for that, ma'am. I'm here for it.
We can
And we
have
get
multiple tits for advertisings.
because
Multiple
hey,
bodies and tits.
we're an inclusive organization here. I don't care what you look like. Whatever type of party you want to have, bitch, I'm there. Let me know what you need and I got you.
I
All
love
right?
the people that are walking in now. Lisa, Dag, and y'all have walked in the middle of quite a conversation. If you
Y'all
don't
are in for
follow
a
Toni on
blast.
Twitter, you should follow because she tweeted most recently the article that spawned this conversation.
And I
But
retweeted
also,
it a little while ago in
you
case you
should
missed it.
you should probably turn back time and watch from the start because
We took a path to get here that's unexpected. And
yeah,
you have to go on the whole journey with us to understand how we are here at the end.
it was not all orgy talk the whole hour and a half, but it's been happening for a little while.
And I
So
will say
that's it.
it's top 5 subject matter.
It is. It is.
Top 5.
This whole situation. Lisa's like, I'm like, all right, yes, exactly.
And then hey, if you guys are feeling like okay, then my work here is done.
Yeah, yeah. And if you will know from the way the conversation travels if it's not your kind of topic where to turn off if you watch the replay, because there is some good shit before the beginning of this conversation.
Yes, and
Let's
I
just say
definitely, like I said before, definitely hope that I did not offend anyone. I never meant to, offend anyone,
I'm
and I speak from a place that doesn't have all the knowledge.
yes.
So, but I'm always here to learn. So if I am incorrect, please correct me on something like you guys did. I appreciate that. I'm not one
And
of these people who are like, "Ew, don't correct me because I know everything." That's not me,
and
bro.
thank you to Faye and other people in the chat for
For
mentioning it.
sure.
Even for me, sometimes in the moment, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm too entertained by being entertained. I'm like laughing,
Right.
and then I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a really good point. So, yes, yes,
Wedding planners are out. Orgy planners are in, Feffy. And I'm here for those needs.
yes.
Gotta add the
Weddings
wink.
are a sham. I'm just going to
Hey,
say that.
you might get divorced, so why spend money on a wedding? You're gonna remember the orgy for your lifetime.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
Okay, but honestly, we've been going for about an hour and a half
Oh
now,
my
and I
gosh, I
feel
didn't
like
realize that.
this has been amazing and
What a
a
blast. Thank
wonderful
you so
journey.
much for having me, Emily.
I wanna anytime you wanna
Uh,
come back, anytime you wanna do a live stream, I would honestly just chill with you and we can talk, and
I always have such a blast. Always.
so much fun. And thank you everybody that's been here
Y'all are
live, and if
awesome.
you're
Thank
watching on the
you.
replay, thank you as well, and you are always welcome to give any criticism or critiques to me particularly, or Tony if you want. Don't be mean if you can, but,
I
you know,
appreciate
we're
it.
here to
Just be
learn and
honest,
grow.
for sure. Like I said, that's
Um,
why I wanted to make sure before we ended that I apologize to anybody in case I did offend someone unintentionally, because that's definitely not my gig. Emily knows that about me. So
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure, but Emily knows that, but y'all don't. So I wanted to make sure
We're
I
all
said that
growing.
to
I
y'all.
I feel like
Yeah,
that's a really nice thing about 2020. Like, I never wanna do anything that puts people in harm, but I appreciate people that are like, "Hey, don't forget about this," or, "Hey, I'm gonna check
exactly.
you here." So,
Because how else am
thank
I
you
going to
all.
know if you don't tell me? And
Yeah.
thank you for telling me. I'm always open to hearing it.
And again, if y'all don't follow Tony on Instagram or Twitter, you should, and the podcast, which is now in the description box. Definitely go check everything out.
I
Tony,
promise I will have some new content soon.
there is no pressure. You know
I
that.
just have to get my head out of my ass. I'll be there eventually. There might be an episode about this fucking orgy. I don't know.
I'm going to force you to do an episode. No, I won't force you. I will
I know what you
highly
meant.
encourage you.
I know what you meant. I know what you meant.
I
And
will highly encourage you
I'm sure once Audra sees this, she's gonna Marco Polo me like, girl, the orgy podcast needs to happen.
because it is fascinating,
I'm
and
fascinated.
I think we're onto
We
something
are.
here. Fefi said the important thing is if you don't know something and people tell you that you keep the knowledge in mind for next time. Exactly. So
And that is
thank you
my plan.
all.
Thanks,
Um,
y'all.
yes, the regular girl reviews is the
Yes,
Instagram,
I
and it's
am
in the description
the
box.
regular girl reviews on Instagram, the regular girl T on Twitter. My podcast is available pretty much everywhere you stream podcasts. The Regular Girl Reviews podcast. It's pretty easy to find, all on brand. All my shit is under the same name, so, and like my actual name, so that I'm easy to find. I have a YouTube channel for my podcast, same name, the Regular Girl Reviews podcast, because brand. And yeah, thank you guys so much for having me and embracing me in
Yes,
Emily's space. I feel so welcomed and seen. I love it here. And
we
thanks
love
for
you
having
here.
me, Emily. I
I
can't
love you.
even tell you. You know, I love you so much.
I really appreciate the Sunday stream, and I'm thankful
Of
that
course.
you came on and that
Of
people hung out
course.
with us and talk with us. And
It was such a blast.
we'll be doing this again. I'll definitely have Tony on this channel again, but I'll definitely have some other streams sometime next weekend, along with the normal Tuesday, Thursday. What you know what's going on. It's Grinchmas. There's a ton of content. Uh,
It'll be
hopefully
up.
you'll be here when you can. Like,
You'll see it.
yes, it'll be here. If you can join live, join. Don't feel any pressure. I know it's a lot because a lot of creators are doing a lot of content right now, and I can't keep up. Like, I'm just like, oh, last night I was talking about Mia. One last thing, I was talking about Mia's virtual vanity in a video, and I was like, oh, she's at Oh shit, she's at this many subscribers. Oh, she just did a collab with Hannah Louise Poston. Okay. Oh fuck, I need to catch up. Like, just
It's December is always, as a content watcher, December is always kind of overwhelming because
yes,
there's so much to choose from so many creators that you love. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna watch these today, and like I haven't even been watching YouTube for the past like 3 weeks. I haven't watched any videos, so I'm hella behind. I told Audra that this weekend that's what I was gonna do. You know what I did instead? Listen to Margaret Atwood books. What do you want me to
we all and the moral of this whole story is that I love whenever you can show up, you personally, Tony, and everyone here, but don't feel any like don't let Vlogmas overwhelm y'all. Just like take what you can. I appreciate everybody that shows up when you can. I appreciate everybody here right now. And thank you so much. Thank you for being an amazing community. Thank you, Tony, again. Please don't forget to check
Thank
out all her
you.
information in the description box. And I'm going to play my outro because I have a
Bye.
little outro and we'll
Oh
end
shit.
here. Bye, everybody. We'll see you
Ah.
tomorrow.
Bye y'all. Thank you.
Wait, not to do the
Just
thing.
kidding. Here we are.